Hey, it's Rhythm. This is my new piece called Bothered for Black History. It seems like black is the bothered race, the race that seems to get no grace. It was told in the days of the old that blacks could take more pain, and we were dissected and injected for the fulfillment of their experiments long before the Peter campaign. Our ancestors were promised 40 acres and a mule and looked upon like they shouldn't complain over the history of our bloodlines being dismantled and our loved ones being slain. They bothered. Even though we are running in a race 3/4 finish without equal gear, they bothered because we still rise and in our communities we commandeered. They bothered. Even though they subject us to drugs, poverty, and hate, took our men for the same thing they were doing and made them an inmate. Tore families apart with all white jurors, even though the world knew they was lying. Lynched black families, put black cities underwater, and left families crying. White women lying on black kids, our kids being murdered in schools, and the evidence they're falsifying. The media showed it to the world because they tried to change the history in the books like we were blind. They bothered. White nurses in the NICU unit hurting black babies, and before we could see it, they were only getting a slap on the wrist. We got to protest our people being slain by the police or they'll act like we don't exist. They bothered. That even though the hood is messed up, we stick together for the right cause. So they subject us to the city being infected with crimes and drugs, and we're given life sentences or killed on probable cause. Yeah, I know that ain't the law, but we are running in an unfair race. And those ancestors' grandkids embraced that black face. And those great-grandkids look like us and the sins of your father now live in your house. And that blonde-haired, blue-eyed daughter done made that black man her spouse. They not only got evil nurses, they got the law on lock too. How is it that Kendrick Johnson killer is still free and that baby was at school? We live in an unjust world, and the way we get treated for being black is cruel. They gave the black woman the resting bitch face and says unapproachable, like we are too. But they copy our walk, our style, get injections for our color and our lips. Some even have kids by black men, and when they break up, they can no longer play that script. Black kids subjected to white supremacy because mama can no longer feel that grip. Loose lips sink ships when talking about chains and whips. And even though they bother, we are standing 10 toes up about our race. And we can no longer be silently allowed. We can never have another George Floyd case. And even though they'll never give us grace, they bothered. Because our come up is personal and we are doing it right in their face. They bothered. Keep going.